Have you ever thought about vision as being a seed that will produce a harvest of success? Too many people linger on the corner of nowhere, caught between Identity Boulevard and Simple Minded Street, on a crossroad of confusion and diminished dreams. Frustration gathers there like traffic, leaving souls all along the road of limitations. All because instead of standing in the truth of who they are, they surrender to the imitation. A shadow of themselves, a borrowed face, a name that never fits, an image that can't carry its own weight. But the moment one turns inward and meets himself unmasked, the map rewrites the path and the road opens in a flash. Then frustration and anger dissolves. The false identity ends, and now the journey of a kingdom vision can finally begin. We have been talking about the power of a vision and how this correlates to our book, Anger Ends Where Identity Begins. See, vision, have you thought about it as being a seed where identity produces a harvest? Vision can act as a fundamental seed representing your ultimate purpose and long-term goals. Now, the process of time management functions as the watering and nurturing of the seed to help it to germinate and grow. A seed that holds like a blueprint for a mature plant, just like your vision holds like a future of your direction and your efforts. Without a seed, nothing can grow. And without a vision, you lack purpose. And everybody have their own way of looking at things. And have you ever thought about your vision as being a seed? And each day that you put in work, every second, every minute, every hour, that you're watering your vision so that you can produce a harvest. Have you ever thought about a vision acting as a fundamental seed, representing your ultimate purpose or long-term goals? Now, think about it. A vision as a seed. And have you ever thought about the process of time management functioning as the watering and nurturing, ensuring that the vision seed can germinate and grow effectively? And see, let's think about a seed. A seed holds the blueprint and potential for a mature plant. Much like a clear vision outlines the desired future and gives direction to your efforts. Without a seed, there's nothing to grow. And without a vision, your actions lacks purpose. So everybody have their own way of really looking at things. But have you ever thought about your vision being a seed? And each day, you put in work every second, every minute, every hour of the day, watering your vision so that you can produce a harvest. So here's the equation. A kingdom vision multiplied by watering time management on that task equals a harvest. Yes. See, water is necessary for a seed to sprout, to grow strong roots, and eventually bear fruit. And so in this example, time management is the consistent effort of applying your most valuable resource, which is time, to the task directly supporting your vision. So in the course we're going to teach here in anger management, where identity begins, anger ends where identity begins, we discuss the importance of time management. And how people who don't know who they are, they don't know where they're going. So they waste time on false identities. And that causes cycle living and frustration and stress and eventually anger. But success is predictable because it's determined by what you choose to focus on the most. It is your choice to prioritize what you're going to work on over the distractions. So if you choose to focus on managing your time to work on a task that aligns with your vision and continue watering daily, eventually you will produce a harvest. You see, the harvest here represents the realization of your purpose and the achievements of success. This is the outcome that aligns with your vision. And it's not accidental. It's not luck. It's a natural result of planting the right seed, a clear vision, and consistently nourishing it effectively and managing your time and priorities. This is so critical. So when people have fruit flourishing on their tree, it's not luck. It's the harvest growing from the vision seed that has been planted for a long time. No, it's not accidental. Vision is a seed that will produce a harvest of success. You see, most people struggle not just because they lack a dream, but because they never created a path to that dream. They never plant a vision seed. So naturally, they never see a harvest. If nothing is growing in your life, then the first question you must ask is, what vision seeds have you planted? And if you only been planted seeds in someone else's garden, then how can you expect a harvest in your own garden? So ask yourself honestly, when was the last time that you planted something in your own garden? And why not? Because if you're truly honest, you'll understand exactly why you don't see a harvest in your own garden. Now here's a story. There was once a beginner farmer who wanted to grow a thriving crop. He had a dream of a beautiful garden filled with fruits, vegetables, and all life, but he didn't know where to start. So he went to a professional farmer, someone who had years of success, someone whose field was green and flourishing, and he asked for advice. So the professional farmer smiled and said, "Plant your seeds in my garden, and when harvest seasons come, you'll see a harvest in your garden too." So the beginner farmer trusted the man, and so he spent his days planting. He planted in the professional farmer's field, row after row, seed after seed. He gave his time and his energy and his sweat. But while he was busy planting in someone else's harvest, he never planted anything in his own soil. His own garden remained untouched, neglected, and barren. When harvest season came, the professional farmer's field was overflowing with green abundance. But when the beginner farmer walked back to his own garden, he found dry soil, empty rows, no sprouts, and no life, not a single thing growing. And it was at that moment he realized the painful truth. You can't reap in a harvest from seeds you never planted. And you can't grow your vision in someone else's garden. You know, for 15 years, I worked faithfully on a job. I showed up early, stayed late, and rarely took leave. I gave my best every single day. I was productive and I was loyal. And without realizing it, I spent years planting vision seeds in their garden. My hands were working to the plow. The energy was just flowing. My dedication was really real. But every seed I planted helped their harvest growing, not mine. And for a long time, I didn't question it. I thought my loyalty would one day come back to me. I believed that pouring into their garden would somehow water my own garden. But then life shifted. I remember my parents began to get very ill, and I became their legal guardian. And needing extra time and care, and not taking vacations, not taking breaks, but I needed to care for my parents. Not taking days off, and just to rest, I needed time for something sacred for my parents. And in that moment of hardship, the job I had been working on for 15 years faithfully made me choose my parents or the job. So it became very painfully clear they were never planting seeds in my garden. They were only planting seeds in their own and only concerned about the flowers in their garden. So I walked away from that job. I walked away, not bitter, not broken, but awakened. I stopped being their farmer. I stopped giving all my best energy to a field that would never feed me. And for the first time, I started planting vision seeds in my own garden. Seeds of purpose, seeds of independence, seeds that carry my own name, provision. My dream, my future. And even though the growth takes time, for the first time in a long time, I'm seeing the fruits of the harvest that I planted in my own garden. Vision is a seed that will produce a harvest. So ask yourself this question. Are you planting vision seeds in your own garden? Provision. We see beyond your limits. And with the proper vision, there are no limitations.